AEW Dynamite rating.
No. Wait, I was going to say, well, let's start. Okay, yeah. All right. Well, okay, first of all, everybody expects, because this is the time of year, these next 2 months, the ratings are going to go down for every show because you're going head-to-head with the NBA playoffs and playoffs draw.
Which are good. Some of the games have been great.
So especially the game last night was an excellent game, by the way. Yeah. Miami beat Boston. I was very happy about that. I thought, yeah. Then now you're miserable, so that makes me happy that you're miserable.
Yeah.
What was the number, Joe? What's this number?
683,000.
Wait a minute. You mean Tony Khan coming out for the first time and getting pile drove didn't crack a the Young Bucks just walking in with Okada and Perry and then walking around the show during the show, that didn't pop a big number?
I can't.
They had the Young Bucks during the whole show with Perry, and then they had the thing with Tony, and they had already said they were going to call him out, so you knew he was coming out.
All right,
You mean the Willow Monet thing didn't pop a big number either?
Let's get to this.
I'm just asking. Nobody's answering me though.
The quarters aren't out yet, so I can't tell you one way or the other.
All right, but I'll tell you what didn't draw on the show, okay? Because I got a pretty good gauge of probably what didn't draw. So the show opens up with them, all the elite coming out and getting out of an SUV, right? And they're walking in, and Okada still is like, he's just like there. You know, they're trying to get him. Like,
paid him all that money to be
he's just
part of this. That's really what you're doing with him?
And you got the Jacksons there to try to get him over his heels, but they're
and they don't have any heat.
Well, they're like me and you. They're fumbling over each other's lines sometimes, you know. So it's like they don't really know exactly what to say. So we go to the arena, and Orange Cassidy's music played, and he's getting beat up by Trent Beretta. Okay, so Beretta gets in the ring and calls for Chuck Dude. So he beats him up, throws him in the ring, and calls for Chuck Taylor to enter the ring. Right now, you watch this segment, right, Konnan?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to give you a scenario, and you tell me if this is what it didn't look like. Okay, this looked like three guys in a Hollywood improv acting class and dressed like it. And the guy, the director of the class said, "Okay, do a wrestling angle where one of the guys just turned on his friend and go do that, right?" And he's out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? How they don't dress for work,
right?
They dress like they're like they're walking the streets during the day. So they have like jeans and t-shirts on and sneakers. And Beretta made sense here, okay? Because he said Cassidy was supposed to be their mascot, and he said they fought for Cassidy and he gave them nothing. And Beretta told Taylor that Cassidy doesn't care about him and is not his friend. And Beretta told Taylor that he loves him and told him to do the right thing by giving the people what they want. Beretta held his arms open for a hug, and then Taylor opened his arms and walked towards forward without hugging Beretta. Then Taylor said, "You know, Trent, I've always thought you're a piece of..." And Taylor hit Beretta, who exited the ring. And Taylor said he knows he wouldn't be clear to compete in the ring, but he wanted to fight Beretta in the parking lot instead. So they're going to have a parking lot.
Okay, so I'm going to start this off first with Joe. What did you think of this segment, Joe?
I didn't see the beginning of the show. I saw the second hour.
Okay.
Quite good. Like probably every show you never watch. And
well, he's got a lot of work to do.
So do we. So do I. So do I.
He's got to produce the shows.
Okay, so, big deal. I got a lot of work to do too. I got to produce a TV show too.
Right.
I meant to watch it today on DVR. I just had it's all mechanic. I had all this.
You're never gonna change, anyways. Let me see, bro. The audio made it impossible to even hear what the Bucks and Okada were saying. They happened throughout the show.
Audio was terrible, right? Yeah, right. Huh? Yeah, with Serena Deeb.
Yeah, with Serena Deeb. Yeah, absolutely nothing, and they're playing music at the same time. It's like, how about turning the music off, dude? So and then Tony, who's always getting dragged, he made sure he made it publicly known that it was a network
TBS
problem and not his. Yeah.
Okay.
Quarters are up on the screen if you want to see them, Dio.
At least it didn't humble. It's just nobody just really watched it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's actually one of the better, from start to finish, like linear lines they've had. It's like there's no like massive ups and downs. Like nobody crashed, like they usually do every week. So what did you think about this, Konnan?
So I just thought that I used to like the Best Friends when I used to go to PWG because they had a funny act, right? Bro, they've been there 5 years. They've really had no real upward mobility. They seem to be part of that Young Bucks clique from LA like Jack Perry is, and what was the guy that used to spray them all the time?
Oh, Cutler,
like all those LA guys. And bro, these guys have never really gotten over in 5 years. The most over they got is when the mom was driving the van.
Yeah, that match with Santana and Ortiz, the backlot brawl or whatever it was, the street fight rather.
Yeah, that's why they're going to go back to it. Was not interested in this. I'm not interested in what's following. This was not spectacularly done. I kind of laugh at the example you gave because it kind of does sound like that. When Orange Cassidy got thrown out of the dresser through the entrance ramp, it reminded me a little bit of what they did with KO last week. Remember?
Right.
Remember when they threw him out,
exactly.
KO came out bleeding? It reminded me a little bit of that. I don't know if they got it from that. It's just a coincidence. Hopefully, and we've seen this with a lot of guys that turn heel. He's been stale for so long. Hopefully this is a change and he gets better. And this is what he's needed. Let's see what he does with it. He's going to have a lot of chances to shine because OC's one of their top guys, Orange Cassidy. So he'll have time to talk. He'll have time to work, and we'll see how good he's gotten. I have a feeling he's not going to amount to much. Hopefully I'm wrong. That's what I have to say about this. What do you have to say?
I'm going to give the guy credit because I like Beretta's mic work.
Right.
He made the only reason why he made sense. Right. Which is like important on this show because a lot of this stuff does not make sense. But he's not an interesting character. No. I'm not into it yet. But I said, hey, that was good mic work. That's my thing. Like, good job by Beretta. What he was asked to do, he did fine.
He may do He may do a complete 360 and just turn out to be one of the best heels in that company.
You never know.
I think that's going to happen. No, but you're right. You never know.
Right. So then Moxley cuts the promo backstage. And Moxley cuts a good promo.
He had some sound problems too.
Yeah, he had sound problems, but his promos are always like kind of the same. Like, he said he wasn't underestimating Hobbs. He's aware of what's at stake in their match. And he said the Callis really put a hit out on his friend. He knows how far they're willing to go. Moxley said he knows that what it takes to get to the top and stay there. Moxley said he doesn't play golf and said pro wrestling is the greatest sport in the world. By the way, let me make another quick thing here. Okay. So, they opened the show, and this is a major problem that this company has, right? Did you watch a pay-per-view yet?
Yes.
Okay. What are the two biggest stories coming out of the pay-per-view?
Yeah, the new champion,
Swerve,
right?
And the match. Yeah, the match of the millennium, whatever, right? No package or nothing referencing this, okay?
Right.
No, didn't show highlights of Swerve winning the whole thing. Didn't show like none of this, right? So we go to the Moxley promo, okay? And now
wait 1 second. I think my dog's locked in the bathroom. Wait.
Okay. You see?
Yeah.
Okay. So so he cuts a promo. Moxley cuts a promo. Right? Bad audio. What did Tony Khan say? He said that was a network problem?
Yeah. He actually tweeted it out. He goes, yeah, we're having problems with our network partners. They're having some audio issues or something like that.
Well, that means the audio of the truck. It's like,
I don't know.
Well, I mean, where's the issue?
I highly doubt that he'd put the blame on WTBS while they're negotiating. But yeah.
All right. So Nana comes out and says, show respect for the world champion. And then while he's
isn't that something a heel would say, or am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, but he comes out and they show some footage of him beating Joe, and Don Callis comes in on commentary, and they go into this match, and he just has the match with them. At one point, Don Callis calls out a play to Fletcher. Right. Fletcher's going to go into the ring to get something. Says, "Nah, I'm not going to do that," and goes in and gets beat by Swerve. So like that, I guess that's the storyline there that Callis told him to do something, didn't do it. But bro, this guy just had been going on this long journey to win a championship, and his first night coming out is like just a random match against Kyle Fletcher. You know the funniest thing about it is Kyle Fletcher had a belt too. Like he the Ring of Honor.
Bro, everybody has a belt. When Rick Storm or what's his name?
Yeah.
Roderick Storm came out, everybody had a belt. When Jay White came out with the Guns, they had two belts each.
Right.
Fletcher's the current Ring of Honor World Television Champion.
Okay. So they just had a random match. Swerve won, and I don't even know what the purpose of. They said this was a title eliminator match. What is a title? Joe, look that up on what a title.
Title eliminator match is when you wrestle the champion, and if you win, then you get a title shot.
Okay, I'm going to throw something out there.
I hate it. It's terrible.
Well, not even that. I'm going to throw something out there. Dude, Swerve has been going on this long thing. He's been doing, long journey, wins a title. Tony has the rankings, okay? I would think maybe if you're going to do rankings, if you're going to have a champ, maybe the champ comes out to cut a promo talking about what he's challenging us up and have the number one contender come out. And they have a verb like, I'm going to and challenge, just like, God forbid, if they're going to do sports-based, programming and have rankings that you would think but instead, imagine the first night this guy wins, he comes out and he's dressed like the number 19th ranked contender for the title.
Bro, it's just
random matches.
Yeah, right. Random matchups. It almost seems like a fanboy booking this.
Right. Like you want to see this match. Like y'all want to see these guys have a good match.
Right.
So go ahead, let's go do it.
Right. Like you said, no build up. The people weren't really into it. They were more when the guy kept going, Swerve's house, like that. But when you're feeding a mid-card guy to a world champion with no build-up, how can you be interested in that? Not only that, this guy, when you're fighting for the championship, you should try to fight like you want to win it. He did not have I did not see any of that. Right. I remember when I would wrestle for a championship and I was going to lose, I made sure that I tried to look as good as I could so people could remember the match and the promotion and the fans. Wow, this guy almost beat this guy.
Like they should run it back.
Right.
Not going too good.
That was my mentality.
Right, yeah, run it back. It's a good match, right?
Yeah, you don't want this run back at all. The other guy, to me, did not do his part. But
so then more bad audio. Renee Paquette is interviewing Thunder Rosa, and Deonna Purrazzo showed up, and they got each other's face and started shoving each other, and two security guards just broke them up. And that was it. So they're mad at each other.
Let me tell you what's sad about this. Thunder Rosa came back. She hasn't meant that to me. Not a big deal at all. Deonna came in, who I've worked with her before, and I liked working with her, and cool person. But her Toni Storm was very underwhelming. They had matching tattoos. Okay. And that was the big thing. They didn't go into their past really. Their match wasn't really that good. This thing with Deonna and Thunder has been underwhelming. Let's hope that all of this gets better because I am not interested at all.
I want to say this. I think maybe a month to 6 weeks ago, I pointed out that I thought that Deonna Purrazzo was working against her. She needed to get in better shape. 6 weeks later, I think she looks like she's in better shape. Have you noticed that? Not
really, no. She looks the same to me.
Right, I thought she looked like in a little bit better shape. Okay, so next, this is my favorite segment. So next coming up, they finally showed. So they showed a video recap of Ospreay Daniels. Okay, now we're into the show. They finally showed that. So now we got Anna Jay versus Mina Shirakawa, and Mariah May is coming out with Mina Shirakawa. Okay, and they got the champagne because they had the gimmick last week where this Mina Shirakawa just showed up and her Mariah May started kissing each other. Okay, so they come out and they had the Stardom banner behind the ring, Stardom, right? And if you don't know what Stardom is, you're just thinking okay, Stardom, maybe that's her gimmick name or something. Maybe that's the name of the characters that Stardom, because that's what it looked like, right? But the Stardom banner, nobody gives a about Stardom because these girls can't speak English anyway. But the announcer was explaining that these girls, I think the two of them were tag team partners in Stardom. That's what I was getting out of it. So the announcers are trying to explain this. We don't see any footage of back at Stardom them again, but they're all giggly with each other, they these are the type of girls that want to make out with each other, right? So I'm interested. So that's kind of what I'm selling here. So Anna Jay comes out, bro. This might have been the funniest thing I think I've ever seen on the show. It was so subtle. Did you see how when they had the band she comes out and they'll say her record,
right?
Okay. Did you see what it said about her? And the announcers actually were putting this over.
What? No.
She's 8-0 in matches at Daly's place in Jacksonville.
That is on par with the Undertaker at WrestleMania right there. That's what that is.
But literally, we're talking, and the announcer said she's 8-0 here at Jackson, the Daly's place. Maybe she can make it 9-0. And so I'm watching this, and I'm thinking please tell me because they got the other girl out there. And all throughout the match, the only thing they did to integrate Mariah May at ringside, even though I guess he said the storyline with the other girl, is Anna Jay rolled out of ringside and they got each other's face and Mariah May backed up. That was the only interaction she had, right? So for some ungodly reason, they beat Anna Jay with this Japanese girl, and Anna Jay finishes choking people out.
Right.
She's choking this little girl out, and this little girl reversed her way out of the choke into a pin.
Right.
Which looked absurd. Okay. So she beats him. And I was thinking why are they beating Anna Jay again? So the girls come in the ring and they're all snuggly with each other. Like, looks like they're going to make out, and they got the champagne glasses. But then Anna Jay comes in and gets her heat back immediately. And I was like, okay, I'm like, good. It's like you keep burying this girl. And like, there's no way anybody's watching that match and just said, like, you put the right person over Mina Shirakawa over Anna Jay, who looks like money, right? So then Toni Storm runs out, and she takes her shoes off, and she runs out of the ring, and basically 3 baby faces run like the one other baby face. She beat up the 2 baby faces, and the one baby face runs her off, right? So then, because Toni Storm left the belt and her shoes on the stage, Serena Deeb comes out, and for Serena Deeb dressed for work. Okay, because she looked like...
There's only 2 people in that company that dress for work. Her and Monet.
No, there was 4 this week. 4.
Who?
Everybody in the Monet segment dressed for work. Willow Nightingale, because Willow Nightingale
dressed better than normal. That wasn't.
She had jeans on.
Yeah. She dressed better than normal. Yes.
They're like, you're right. Yeah, but she had like she had right. She absolutely 100%. Okay, so then
Serena, who's the other one? The black guy, the manager, Stokely.
The manager, right? We'll get to that. Okay, but Serena Deeb. I couldn't hear what she was saying.
Right. Poor girl. And they were playing music too.
They're playing music over and stuff. Like, So let me tell you something.
But kudos to her.
That was not a network problem. That was you guys seeing that there's audio issues on the show already and not giving Serena Deeb a mic to cut her promo.
That's the same thing I thought.
Like,
why was she mic'd up?
I'm like, the audio has been terrible on the show already. Why does she not have a mic?
Bro, Tony's literally, like, when you go behind the thing, he's literally there in Gorilla, right? He could have told somebody, bring her a microphone.
And she looked great. She probably cut a good promo. I didn't get to hear it. So this was an unfortunate fail for what they were trying to do to make Serena Deeb look like a star and a contender for Tony.
But I'm going to say this one more time. I highly doubt that Tony would be putting the heat on WTBS while he's negotiating with him.
Right. So next, Stokely Hathaway.
But he did put that out. He did put that out, just so you know.
Right. And so they sang the praise.
You find that, Joe? It's from last night?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Serena with the goofy sound?
No, Tony's saying that these issues are TBS part.
Oh, yeah, his tweet. Yeah, I got you. I'm sorry.
Okay, cool. All right, so next, Hathaway comes out with Nightingale, or not Statlander, excuse me.
Wait. Let me go back to the Anna Jay match.
Okay.
So I read this somewhere, and it might have been Dave. I said this to you like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I go, bro, they're saying that the Shirakawa is going to be good for ratings. Now, she came out last week. That was her debut, right?
Right.
She did not help.
Right, sure.
She came out this week. She did not help, and she will not help in the future after what I saw last night.
Right.
So says, thank you all watching AEW Dynamite now. We're having an exciting show live worldwide now. Our partner TBS is having some audio issues on tonight's show. Thankfully, we understand our other worldwide partners aren't affected, but TBS is working to fix the issue immediately.
Wait, the other worldwide partners weren't affected? It's kind of weird.
Yeah. It was just
that's a weird. Right. Bro, we worked. How long were we working together?
Look at what this guy put. Wait. Let me read this.
Yeah. I'm going back to it.
Same thing Disco says, you're seriously putting this on the network instead of your own production truck? The feedback issues and mixing issues are not a network error unless you have the network producing your contact. Not going to let you get away with this one.
But obviously not knowing that there were issues already on the show, not giving Serena Deeb a mic was ridiculous.
Right.
Okay. And it ruined her spot.
Right.
And it's not her fault.
Looking great, and she might have had a great promo. Yeah.
Right. And it's just completely not her fault. All right. So then Stokely and Statlander ring, and Statlander actually dressed in white.
Let me just say this about the Shirakawa thing. Bro, Anna Jay is still very green. Like, her forearms are ridiculously bad.
Yeah.
And she has improved. But how can you improve when you're only wrestling once a week? I don't see her on indie shows. Right. She get booked on indie shows, Yeah. She's probably the prettiest girl on their roster, and at the same time has the baddest body on the roster. And you're going to tell me in 3 years, I want to see in 3 years where Anna Jay is and where Shirakawa is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's had
not be jobbing to her.
Well,
she's had 110 matches in 5-ish years.
Really? That's all?
Yeah.
Bro,
that's like a match every other week.
Yeah, she's still very good.
Yeah, and she, but
this
what
match was all right. The other girl has a lot of charisma, and they'll probably get over with the goofy nerd crowd that anything that's, Scissor Me Daddy or
right.
They like to participate.
If you took me, if I was an agent, if they brought me as an agent for AEW, okay, right. And they gave me my one match was Anna Jay versus Mina Shirakawa, and I had all day with right. this girl. Okay,
I would a way better match.
She would improve as a worker because I would have her working on her strikes.
Right.
And I could do that in literally one day with performers because I've done it in my class. Right. I can get you pretty quickly if you just to teach you how to do it and get you do repetition. You can do it. Have her looking tougher because you're right. Sure, her strikes look like she just does like a shove. It's not a forearm strike. It's like a hockey check. Like you're shoving the guy in the board.
She doesn't even touch the girl. It was really bad.
And the girl's
I'm a big Anna Jay fan. Yeah.
And then the girls just go like she's like not even really registering it. She's just kind of like, it just looks ridiculous. But she needs some work.
And when Toni Storm came in, the place popped. Bro, they're gonna have to change her face soon.
Right. So halfway.
She's the best part of. Did you see any of the scrum after the pay-per-view?
Yeah, that was pretty funny with her.
She's the best part of that every time now.
Yeah. Well, let's get to this. We're taking too much time.
She's the best entertainer they have on that show right now, to me.
Yep.
Okay. Hathaway and Statlander are in the ring, and Statlander dressed nice, okay, compared to
right. How she usually dresses, yeah.
Right. So they sang the praise of Willow Nightingale. They balloons, and Willow comes out. Hathaway.
Okay. Wait. Halt. Please don't ever, never, ever, never, ever, never have Stokely throw the Caprice Coleman and him rap while she's coming out. That was brutal.
So they threw to the rap.
Wait a minute.
The sound was atrocious for the rap because the music was too loud.
He's out there rapping and you can't barely.
It's like such an epic fail. This is comedic, right?
Yeah.
So Hathaway told Willow that he didn't like her initially and said she didn't like him either. And Hathaway said that he and Statlander are proud of her. Willow recalled being in the front row in the past and working her first AEW match. She said she's not a rookie. She's on the face of TBS. Okay. Now I want to say this about Hathaway. All right. I wasn't really a fan of his, but he's kind of funny in these things and then stuff. So he just shouldn't even be a heel. He should be kind of like a comedian, like a comedian guy that's coming out like a Kevin Hart character that's like hanging out with these girls where he's dropping some funny lines every now and then, like making fun of people stuff. Right. So he's not that bad. Okay. So Mercedes Monet
compared to what he was doing, no.
So this is hysterical. So they had Willow wear flip-flops or just flat shoes,
right.
And Mercedes had high heels on. Okay, because when they did their face-to-face, Mercedes
she was taller than her.
Right, which she is not. Okay,
right.
So which is funny. It's a good visual.
Let me ask you a question on Monet. Why wear anything, dude? I mean, you could just see everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So Monet asked Willow if she was that attacked her. Willow said no. And Statlander said Willow was attacked last week and questioned whether it was Monet, who wondered whether Statlander was behind the attack. And Hathaway said everyone knows it was Julia Hart. Then Willow said it felt like Monet has a vendetta against her. She asked if Monet thinks she intentionally injured her. This is where it gets so silly, right? Monet asked Willow if she was asking her if she blamed her for almost ending her career and taking what she loves away from her for a full year. Monet said Willow doesn't want to know the truth. Willow recalled going back to her hotel after she beat Monet and said she wondered whether she could have beaten Monet if she had been 100%. She said she saw the same questions on the internet in the locker room, and Willow spoke about how she earned her TBS title and wants Monet to be 100% so she could show her that she could beat her. Monet told Willow to enjoy the title while she can because Willow knows she can't beat her. Then Monet turned to leave, but Statlander grabbed her arm, and then Monet turned around and slapped Willow across the face. Then Willow was held back by Statlander and Hathaway. He didn't write this in here, but there's a period in here where Hathaway tried to say something, and Statlander kind of just shut him up and shoved him to the corner to keep him quiet, right? Well, they were having her sing. You know what would help in this angle?
What?
Is if they actually showed the clip of the injury in the match that they're talking about at some point.
That would help, yeah. Nobody had a lot of people didn't see that. I did it.
Right. They're talking about this, and everybody's like, it's like, well, did we never know what she injured? Right. Like they just say, oh, you injured me, and that's just like so lame, right? But Monet, for the first time in a while, even though the shtick was corny because they're talking about, whatever, she came across as a star here. All right. I thought this was Monet's best performance, and Willow is not bad on the mic.
No,
she's actually very well spoken out there, and
comfortable. She sounds comfortable.
Decent babyface character. So the mic work here was not awkward like it's usually been. It was a lot better for the girls, and so this was a positive. And what's been a lot of negatives with Monet's spots in recent weeks.
Well, did you tell when Chris Strandlander grabbed the arm of Monet and she thought it was?
Yeah, and then she told her to slap Willow. It said right, yeah, that's what it said right. So what do you think of this?
Well, is one of these people going to be a heel? Is Monet going to be a heel, or are we going to have a babyface match?
Well, Monet could easily be the heel very
They're
quickly.
Not going. I don't think they would. Do heel.
All they would have to do is show the footage of the match, going like, "Why are you saying I injured you? You hurt yourself. You fell." It's like
let me just say one thing.
Yeah,
they brought her in for big money, and I don't think they should be turning her heel right now. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they should turn Willow heel. So we may have a babyface match, or I don't know what they're going to do. Here's my thing. Did you see this, Joe, or no?
Yes, I did.
What do you think of it?
Same. I mean, at Willow was one of the first couple of times I've seen her. She's got a great presence, and Monet.
A couple of times. She's been there 5 years.
I haven't seen her cut promos like that. Willow. I think she only just showed up in the last year or so, didn't she?
Willow's been there at least 2 years.
Oh, and Monet's a natural heel, but I agree with Konnan. It's too soon. Get what you can out of her first babyface run, and then she'll probably have a longer heel run and be better off.
I'm going to ask you first next time, so you don't agree with me. But yeah, that's why I don't like the ISC last.
Okay. By the way, during the Anna Jay match, they showed Perry walking into Tony's office. Okay.
Right.
You get any more comments?
Okay, but here was my question to both of you. After watching Monet and Willow, are you interested in seeing the match?
Not yet.
A little bit.
The match is not going to be till the end of May.
Okay.
That's it.
So they still got more time. Okay.
I'm still not interested in seeing them wrestle because there's no babyface and no heel dynamic yet. Okay. Right. Nobody's really started burying anybody on the mic yet, which is what I like in angles, is seeing guys torch each other on the mic. They get pop. They say things that pop the crowd, both characters and stuff, and that builds heat, right? They have not done that yet at all in this. And if they do get to a point where it does, I might become interested, but right now I'm not.
I suppose I'm interested, but I didn't even think I was until you asked me, so that's probably not a good sign. But I mean, I always liked Sasha since, the early days of NXT. To me, I know she's not, she's got haters.
Everybody
she's always delivered. Like when her and Charlotte, people were like, her and Charlotte wrestled.
Who doesn't have haters? Just so I know.
Nope, nobody.
Give me that list.
Nobody. But even back when people used to say, her and Charlotte wrestle too much. I never thought that. They always delivered, So yeah, I'll watch for Mercedes.
All right, I'm not interested yet.
Guys, give me 1 minute.
But I am more interested than before, and I will agree with Disco. Out of all the mic work she's done, probably even 4 times, maybe this was the best one.
Okay, guys, hang on a second. Sorry.
Okay, Joe, let's say that they let you book this. There's a gauntlet that was right after this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was Jay White. You have to pick the last two that you would have left in the ring. Jay White, Dante Martin, Pentagon, Kyle O'Reilly, Will Ospreay, Lance Archer, Commander, and Jay Lethal. Who would be your last two?
O'Reilly and Ospreay. But I'm a big fan of O'Reilly's, so
How about you? Let me just say this to O'Reilly. Great wrestler. Dude, you could definitely use to put on a little bit of weight, and you could definitely rock a tan. Do people that do not have tans not look at themselves in the mirror? I mean, if you're wrestling...
Yeah, should at least get the spray job.
Just get a tan, dude. Just lay out in the sun for 30 minutes. I don't like spray jobs. They look fake. MJF uses it a lot. You can see like his hands...
Yeah.
Not the same color as his skin, and sometimes he'll miss some places.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks kind of like you got all that money and you got to do a spray tan.
Right. So, Will Ospreay.
There's actually places, Joe, you can go every day and just get a 15-minute tan.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of them.
No, I don't mean for you. I mean for him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, while you're at it, you wouldn't hurt either.
All right. So let's talk about this. So, Will Ospreay.
Okay, let me ask you a question. The same thing I asked Joe. Who would have you picked?
Let me get to, let's go over the segment, then we'll talk about that. Okay.
Well, I just said the guys, so you already know who the guys are.
I'm aware of that, but I want to tell you the segment so we can discuss it first. All right. So we'll discuss who I would have picked to be at the end. But first of all, there's a gauntlet match, and they're for the right to wrestle Roderick Strong. Okay. And so Jay White's in there. Bro, let me tell you something. Jay White brings it on his chops.
Right.
And he makes a lot of the other guys in the match look stupid.
And he's good. He's good.
He's a very good worker, right? So they have this gauntlet match, and
let's see if anybody that's listening to our show or the robots or whatever had to say that Disco said Jay White is a good worker. See if that.
Oh, I've never said he's a bad worker. He's always been solid.
I know, but I'm just saying anything positive will never be.
No, that's not going to be a headline at all.
So the entrants in this match are Penta, Kyle O'Reilly, Dante Martin, Jay White. They're all in there and they're doing this stuff. So then Archer comes in, Ospreay. Ospreay's coming off the pay-per-view hot, and he's just a random competitor in a gauntlet match, okay? Right. Which is ridiculous. So he comes in there and he's doing his stuff, and then Lance Archer comes in. And I'm sorry, Ospreay's the greatest worker in the world. His forearms are terrible because the guys don't sell him. He does the same thing everybody else does, where he just shove the guy into the side thing. So he does that. Archer hits him with one, and like it looks like he knocks him out.
Bro,
which is good for Archer because that's how a lot of guys. If you're gonna let a guy forearm you in the face, okay, if the guy's gonna let you I tell the guy, hey, you need to sell that. If you're giving me one free shot at you, I'm gonna clock your jaw, at least buckle to
Disco. Tell everybody what would have happened back in the day if somebody hit you with a forearm and you didn't sell it.
They hit you hard with it, and you wouldn't
sell it.
Right. And they ring your bell back when we didn't know CTE was a thing, Right. So right. That's these guys don't sell. I don't. It's crazy. Everybody's doing these forearms.
I like Shibata because he makes you sell.
Yeah. And he doesn't sell yours.
Yeah, he's
that's the
great.
Thing.
Yeah. That's kind of his gimmick. I didn't really know that. That's kind of his gimmick, even in Japan. But
I blinked and didn't even see that Jay Lethal was in this too. But he was out there and did a spot. But it came down to Commander had O'Reilly pinned, but then Ospreay hit Commander with his hidden blade elbow and pinned him. So after the match, Roderick Strong walked out with the Cole, Wardlow, and Taven and Bennett, and went to face with Ospreay, and they jawed at one another. So listen to Powell's POV. A chaotic spot fest. Do I want to see a Strong and Ospreay match? Sure. Do I have any interest in seeing Ospreay go after AEW's fourth singles championship? Absolutely not. And I think that's pretty much if Ospreay's going to be
AEW's what championship? Fourth?
Yeah. Well,
isn't that like isn't that the second singles belt? Second from the top?
No.
International's not? Oh.
No, it's four. Bro, you got World, then you got TNT and TBS, and then you got that one.
And the
TBS.
That I thought that was just girls. That's
bro. Did you like what Jericho goes the world really did?
Because Edge is Edge is the TNT champion, and isn't so. Who's the TBS?
Yeah, no, the TBS championships for girls. It's Willow. Willow's the TBS champion.
The TBS Women's Champion.
Yeah, just the TBS champion.
So who's the TNT champion? There's no women's TNT champion?
Nah.
Okay. All right, so that's what we did. The TNT champion is a male and TBS is a woman, I guess.
And then you got the 3 belt is supposed to be that Triple Crown.
Yeah, so I guess this is the third or fourth. Either way, this is like... Either way, this is a recurring problem that's been happening.
Too many people holding too many belts dilutes the importance of the belts, especially when half the time they're not even defending them, and especially when half of them are from Ring of Honor, which nobody gives about except the people that wrestled in Ring of Honor.
No,
am I off in anything here? Just so.
Well, you're just off in the most important thing.
What?
There's a recurring problem in this company.
What?
Whenever a character looks like he's going to be elevated and go on to the next step and move up the card, he always goes backwards. Swerve went backwards tonight, coming off a world championship, and
Ospreay
went backwards. It's like he should be going on. Like he just beat Brian.
He's going after Roger Storms in a just thrown together gauntlet match.
Yeah,
and who would you pick as your last two, Disco?
I would have picked Jay White and Ospreay. I would have had a Jay White and Ospreay. Okay, this I would have finished it. Jay White and Ospreay. And then Taven and what's her name come down to interfere, and they disqualify Ospreay, okay, and they make a thing. So then they do a thing. It's like, wait a second, they come down. The referee says, no, we're going to throw this match out. Okay. So now, because they threw the match out and it's obvious that what's their names want to fight, like Roderick Strong would rather fight Jay White than fight Ospreay. Okay. Now Ospreay and White got to run it back next week 1-on-1 to finish this match.
Right.
And now, okay, then that's more episodic, interesting storytelling based on an angle, like, so, but this was just nothing. Random match, winner here, and you're fighting the guy.
Yeah, I would have had the Guns run in, do some sort of run in where the referee gets distracted or has to go outside, and this guy's hitting him with a foul or something. What's this guy's name?
Bro, this is
have Roderick Strong come in and hit him with something.
No, yeah. This is perfect. Okay. They should have been like there's 4 guys, right? They should have had a spot where it looked like
there were more than 4 guys in the Gauntlet.
No. There's 4 guys in the faction. You got Wardlow, Taven, what's called Roderick Strong, that can actually do things, right? I would have done this. It looks like a spot where Commander is going to lose. They come in and interfere and flip the thing on so to make it so Commander's going to win the match, and the guy kicks out, and like they foil that. Then they get fought off. Then it looks like Dante Martin's going to lose, but then they do another interference which try to give Dante Martin the win, and then they foil that, and he was everything. So like they're trying to make, like, the heels are trying to manipulate the match to make like either like Dante Martin or Commander win, so Roderick Strong will have to wrestle one of those, or like whoever the 3 weakest guys in the match were, right? But then we fight this out and Ospreay wins, and they're like, that should have been the storyline of this. But
I would have had Rod. I would have had Strong and the other guys interfere. Referee is distracted, and at the end there's a face-off between Roderick and him, or they get into a fight and they're separated. But something more than this. Now I would have had, based on crowd reaction, Penta was almost over, so I probably would have had Penta versus Ospreay, but if not, Jay White, 100%. Okay, they would have had a great match, and I don't understand how you leave Commander on last when you have Jay White and Pentagon there. Nothing against him, but I definitely wouldn't have left Kyle O'Reilly there, even though he looked really good in the match when he was in there with Will Ospreay. They did some good. Poor Lance Archer,
he looked good.
That's great. Yeah, but he's like Wardlow, a big guy that means nothing, like Brian Cage, another big guy that means nothing,
All right. So Jericho comes out, and he's got his he's now called the Learning Tree Chris Jericho. He played in the crowd that addressed Hook, and Jericho claimed Hook forced him to hit him over the head with a baseball bat. Jericho spoke about the Jericho Vortex and how so many people come out of it as bigger stars. This is a short description. This was a very good promo, because this is Jericho being the insincere babyface. Okay, it was. Yeah. I was very entertained by this. Okay, I like this character.
Some of the best he does is in that vein.
Right. So this was entertaining to me. So the Big Bill comes out, and Big Bill basically says, "I need the guidance of the Learning Tree," which got because the people thought he was coming out to fight him. But he said, "I need your guidance," and he basically But this was an awkward out on this, the way they did it. Jericho said he's watched Bill for a long time and took credit for being one of the reasons that Bill is in AEW. Jericho said he would keep an eye on Bill and give it a lot of consideration. Bill told him to do that and then left the ring. This was just this could have been a more entertaining out on this segment. It was kind of flat, right? And they showed the FTW.
Yeah, it was like yes, you're right.
Right. So and they had the Learning Tree on, but I was very entertained by Jericho's mic work before Big Bill came out. I was actually laughing at some of this stuff. Just entertaining. So backstage, Renee Paquette interviewed Ospreay, Callis, and Kyle Fletcher, and Callis congratulated Ospreay and praised him. And Ospreay still, Callis is still a heel, and Ospreay's still supposed to be a babyface, but he's still, I don't know. Uh-huh. This is making him look stupid, right?
We've been saying the same thing.
Backstage thing.
Yeah. So then Callis questioned why Ospreay didn't use a Tiger Driver. So they're doing a thing because, like, during the match, Ospreay had given Bryan Danielson the Tiger Driver. Danielson got hurt, so he said they were going to use it again in the scrum. So he did a spot in this match where he's going for the Tiger Driver, and then he's thinking like, "Oh, I told everybody I wouldn't do this," so he didn't do the move. He almost lost, right? Mm-hmm. Which whatever. I mean, to them, that's probably great storytelling, but I couldn't give. Which is kind of stupid that you don't want to use a move that hurts people and beats them. I'm not going to do it anymore because it hurt the guy. I'm like, it's a weird flex for a guy that's supposed to be a heel. He's in the heel faction. So then Callis is getting mad at him for not using the Tiger Driver, which is smart because Callis is making
that's what
sense
he would
here.
do.
Right.
So
And then he got mad at Fletcher for looking bad last week, and Callis said Oscar would give Roderick Strong another broken neck and win his title.
Yeah. I think when Callis put together Takeshita really means nothing anymore. They tried to make him a big deal. That he means nothing. Hobbs kind of means nothing. He gets beat all the time by everybody now. He got beat by who? Joe and Moxley?
Yeah.
Who was the other guy that I was talking about? Oh, and it just feels to me that when they put that family together, they had big plans for these guys. Nobody's really kind of, what would be the word? Has been elevated, or I mean, the only guy is Ospreay, and I think they figured out that the people like Ospreay a lot after they'd already put him in that faction, and now they're finding a reason to turn him face. And it almost looks like with what's this guy's name, the Australian guy, not listening to his orders, like he's losing control of the family, maybe.
Yeah. So then we go to the let me see the promos of wins. So they do Moxley versus Powerhouse Hobbs for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I couldn't give about. And during this, about 5 minutes into the match, Hobbs ran into the corner. Moxley moved, and Hobbs hit the bottom of the second rope with his knee really bad and hurt his knee bad. So he rolled out of the ring. Moxley did a dive on him outside the ring and threw him in. You could tell that Hobbs was definitely compromised on his knee. So Moxley just put him in a choke and choked him out. So the visual ending of this is big old Hobbs got choked out right in the middle of the ring and hurt. Like you can't catch this guy can't get like nobody that's that you want an elevator or something you get over. It's like you catch a break on that show, right? It's like his cheeks. So after the match, that's nothing to do with Hobbs. It's not his fault. He just should, I don't know. Takeshita walks on the stage and stared at Moxley, and they stare at each other like doing work there. So, what did you think of this match, by the way?
No, it was all right. I wasn't interested in it.
Me neither. So Paquette interviewed Shibata, who used his phone to speak for him. He says he wants to face Jericho for the FTW Championship in Winnipeg and beat him in Winnipeg. We did it with the phone. These are funny, but all the people on the show to give an interview to that need to talk, like Ospreay, whatever, you're giving it to Shibata because he's got a funny little gimmick with the phone. So Jack Perry was introduced. He walked out with his scapegoat armband and said he has some of the best nights of his life in Jacksonville. So they had business to handle and one to handle with Tony Khan. So Tony Khan comes out. Perry and Khan have had their ups and downs, but the only thing he's ever won is what's best for AEW. Then Perry asked Khan to shake his hand and reinstate him so they can continue to change the world together. And Khan shook Perry's hand and hugged him. And they're doing the Tony hug. And then Perry held up Khan's arm and they played the crowd. Then Perry hit Khan in the gut with the microphone. Then the Jacksons and Okada come out and act like they were to calm Perry down, but the Jackson had Khan in position for the EVP trigger to tease the crowd, but they helped him up instead. Then Okada pointed up, and Matthew grabbed Khan, and then Nicholas went on top, and they hit him with the Tony Khan driver. And then the referees and trainer, by the way, they took care of it really easy on this. So he's laid out, and the elite members are standing there and playing to the crowd, said, "Thank you, Jackson. We love you so much." And this didn't really get as much heat as they probably would have wanted. But finally, a group of wrestlers ran out to check out on Tony Khan after he was out there getting beat up. This was very this could have been produced so much better, but Tony Khan looked like a kid or something. He wouldn't even say anything. Like, why didn't he come out with a mic and them having a verbal exchange? He was just like, yeah, I'm like shaking. What do you think of this? I thought this is. I'll give it a chance to see how the storyline goes, but this was just not. Somebody put on. If they showed the four of them standing there, somebody tweeted that's the MWO, the Midget World Order.
What has been the reaction, you guys, that you've probably been on Twitter? I haven't been on Twitter today over that.
The Mark podcasters are burying it.
Really,
they're not happy with AEW right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how could you be
what
like?
Do you think of this joke? Did you see this?
Yeah, I'm happy to see Perry back, and this is, I've been waiting for him to turn heel even before all this, and actually he did, but just a little bit harder edged. So hopefully that's coming. I just think it's too little, too late. I think if you wanted to get anything out of Tony, the first time Tony got attacked, I think it's too long now. If they would have done it earlier on with somebody else, maybe Jericho or the Bucks a few years ago, it just doesn't seem to have made any kind of noise. I think it would have made more if it happened sooner.
Why would Jericho beat up Tony?
I'm just thinking way back when Jericho was the heel champion.
Why would the EVPs beat up Tony?
They did, and wasn't it Perry?
It was all.
No, they gave him the Meltzer joint.
Well, they're part of a faction, but the problem was Perry. Perry's the one that. But it was kind of funny because when he punched him, it looked like a liver shot. You know how like when you get hit with a liver shot and it's a delayed thing? Yeah. Tony got hit, laid there, and then he stayed there for a while, and then he started to register his stomach.
Right.
Yeah, but now the Bucks tombstoned him and all that too, Konnan.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I saw the whole thing. But the guy that punched him was Perry.
Yeah.
So is he going to fire any of these guys? Because he fired CM Punk for fighting with Perry and he suspended Perry. Probably not, but there needs to be an explanation why they're not being fired. Did not get over big with the live crowd. I thought for the first time Tony coming out to doing an angle, it would be bigger, and it wasn't. Let's see what happens is all I can say. This was not something that I was like, oh, I got to see what happens next week.
Well, I did
not leave with that.
Well, Kenny Omega's coming back next week. So they're obviously pointing to, like, I guess it's going to lead to Kenny Omega versus Okada match. So it's like, I think that they want to do Kenny Omega versus Okada. They're trying to figure out some creative to do to make it make sense. But it's just like, I don't know. I'll give him, like I said, I may be wrong. I'll give him a chance because, I always like to give him a chance. So we'll see.
Yeah, to me, was not a great show. Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.